Nice. So for the first part of this video, you get to hear a voiceover. For the first step, you're going to remove two 7mm screws under the fenders. There's also one push pin beneath this fender flare if you have them. Then there are 11 push tabs on this little flap above the radiator. These are easily removed with any kind of plastic trim tool. However, you can use a flat blade screwdriver if that works for you. Most of the screws that you're going to need to remove to get the headlight out are 10mm. There are a bunch of them, I can't remember exactly how many, but there's two up on top and then there's a bunch beneath it, and then there are two 8mm screws that you'll need to remove as well. Once you remove this last black plastic pin, you can pull the black headlight trim piece out, and it's just held in with several clips. Just pull it away from the front of the truck and it'll pop off. This is where the rest of the 10mm bolts are going to be, as well as those two 8mm bolts. There are several along the front of this black plastic thing, and then there are 2 or 3 on the sides. The two 8mm bolts, and then back behind them will be another 10mm bolt. Grab an extension or two because it's pretty far back there and it's going to want to fall and get hidden. Don't be lazy like me. I didn't take all these bolts out, trying to see if I could just wiggle the headlight out around this black plastic piece. I don't recommend this. Just go ahead and take all those bolts out, take that black plastic piece out, and then take the headlight completely out. I've skipped over a lot of wiring stuff here because my other headlights had HID and LED bulbs in them. When you remove your factory headlights, it's just going to be a couple simple connectors. The only thing you'll have to keep is the connector for the marker light and then the blinker. And then from there, it's all plug and play. You're just going to start making the connections and get everything put back in. You'll see here is where I'm regretting not taking this piece off earlier. I'm just having to go back and do it again. So go ahead and take it off the first time and just get it all out of the way. Go ahead and get the headlight more or less in place. There are several metal alignment tabs that you can push in, and then just take the headlight trim surround piece and just pop it back in. I'm doing this a little out of order because I actually did this install over 2 days. If you're going to install the DRL harness, I recommend not putting this piece on just yet. And now for the other side. While we're watching me dismantle my truck, I wanted to make a couple comments on the fitment of these headlights. The ANZO headlights always had a little bit of fitment trouble right around that point where it comes to on the fender, and then that middle blue piece in between the high and low beam. One of the sides fit just fine, the other side always had trouble fitting. Both of these AlphaRex headlights have phenomenal fitment and are clearly of a superior quality. Not to say the ANZOs weren't good, but the AlphaRex is clearly better. Well, with everything more or less hooked up, the only thing left to do is install this optional DRL wiring harness, and it's pretty simple to install. It looks like a lot, but it's really not a big deal. And what it does is it connects the two headlights to ignition source power that allows the DRLs to run at a brighter intensity during daylight. So you can install this if you want, you don't have to. It's included with the headlights. I'm going to install it. So it's pretty straightforward. So we've got a couple
wires here that go to the battery, positive and negative. It's a fused link, so that's good. This yellow one can just get tied up somewhere. This is what they say it's for programming this at the factory, and you can just disregard it. And then the gray one is going to get tapped into the fuse box to an ignition power source. I'm going to use a fuse, add a fuse here, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then this, on the other end of the box, we've got this shorter lead that's going to go to the passenger side headlight, and then there's a long lead that's going to go all the way across to the driver's side headlight. So this box and all these wires will be on the battery side, because the fuse box and the battery are right here, so that's real easy. And shouldn't be too hard to install. The only connection, crimp connection you have to make is the add a fuse. Everything else has these little connectors for the battery, and then they've gone ahead and added the connectors for the headlights already. So the only one you have to do is the fuse. So I'm going to be using fuse 97, which is right here. So with an add a fuse, what you're going to do is you're going to take the fuse out of the fuse box and place it in the bottom slot here, and that's going to be just like your normal fuse in the fuse box. And then you can slide in an additional fuse above that. And then you can splice in whatever it is that you're installing, in this case the headlights. Now I'm going to hook up the box to the headlights, and remember that the yellow one can just be kind of tucked away. We're not going to use it. And then your lead from your harness to your headlights is just going to go in this little white connector. And then I'll come back in a little bit with some with a heat gun, and I'm going to melt that down.
For time's sake, I'm fast forwarding through this. I'm routing this cable under that plastic flap that goes above the radiator. It's nicely protected in there, but you can run it wherever you want this out of the way.
Alright, that should be everything installed. Let's see how they look. Give them a test. Nice. Now I do have LEDs in the turn signal bulb, and that's just so that it kind of matches the LED of the LED bar around it. These do cause hyperflash if you have the LED bulbs in, because I don't have any kind of resistors in place, but you can fix that in ForceScan. The actual headlights themselves won't hyperflash at all. And here they are with just the white daytime running light surround. This is the high and low beams. When you go. All right, let's get this thing put back together.
I'm pretty happy with these. I think they offer an updated look over the ANZOs, and the sequential startup and turn signals is pretty cool. The ANZOs did that too, but mine weren't synchronized. The right did it a little faster than the left, and that was a little weird. Here's a little side-by-side comparison. The ANZO with Morimoto LEDs are on the left, and the AlphaRex LEDs are on the right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and check out some of my other videos, or get subscribed to my channel.